Hi everyone, it's Jay Celeste, and today I'm doing my first reading video, and the question is, what can I do to improve my relationship? I will be drawing 4 cards from 3 different groups. This is group 1, group 2, and group 3, so you can pause the video now to meditate on these cards. If you need more help visualizing or understanding the meaning of each pendant I put on, this is a pine cone with a root chakra and crushed turquoise. The turquoise helps with grounding, joy, femininity, and tranquility. This is a skull-shaped smoky quartz, which helps with detoxifying, also helps with grounding and banishing negative energy. And this is my own charm, which is a 7-pointed elven star, which helps with the protection from the fairies and the pixies and the elves, basically any sprite. So pause the video now to get a feeling for those sets of cards. When you're ready, skip to the part in the video which is concerning your group. So I'm going to start with the turquoise group 1. Okay, setting the pendant aside, I'm just going to draw these 4 cards. This is the card concerning yourself. This is the card concerning your partner. This is the card concerning both of you. And this is the card that represents the subconscious and underlying issues. Okay, so immediately you can see there's a lot of creativity and love in this relationship. However, you might be the one that's a bit more positive or overbearing with your feelings, and I think your partner is kind of shying away more from these feelings they're experiencing. So I'm just going to take a read from my tarot card book that I've been using, and I'll link the book in the description so you guys can utilize this tool as well. So the Ace of Cups is one of the cards in the tarot deck that is most representative of love and new love, particularly beginnings of love. So this might be a person that you've had newfound feelings for. The description of this says beginning of a romance or something that you love, overflowing with happiness, productivity caused by emotional pleasure, a gift of beauty, a new project full of potential that pleases you, landing a project or situation that you feel will be emotionally fulfilling. So basically, this card, as you can see here, is just a cup that is overflowing. So this is representative of overflowing love. That's how you feel. You feel like this could be great, this will take you new places, you feel like this love will help you and benefit you, but you also have to understand that this love isn't all about benefiting you. You have to think of what can benefit your partner, not only how you can take pleasure from these things. So the partner is represented by the 4 of Cups, which is too much of a good thing, emotional indecision, apathy, making the wrong choice due to emotional dissatisfaction or emotional baggage, wariness, histrionics, which means making a mountain out of a molehill, boredom, refusal to see the good in a situation, and concentrating on the negative. So they're not exactly sure how they totally feel about this relationship. I mean, they see a lot of good things, but in this card you can see someone kind of definitely focusing on the negative, and they have this shining cup of creativity and joy next to them, but they're not appreciating it and they're just choosing to look away. So that's what that is represented by. Maybe they're a little bit overwhelmed by how much good you want to bring to them. They've never experienced that kind of love before, so they're hesitant, or maybe they're a little insecure about themselves. They don't know why you have those feelings towards them. Maybe they're just having trouble trying to reciprocate them or show that they're reciprocating them. This could be difficult for them. So a card that is representing both of your feelings is a major arcana card, Justice, which pretty much speaks for itself, but obviously I'll still read it out. It says, justice, equality, being fair, court cases or legal proceedings, finding reasonable solutions to difficulties, and impartial judgment. So maybe you both feel like it's right to be together, it makes sense to be together in every aspect. You feel like maybe even other people think that it works for you, you look good together, but there's other things lying underneath these that maybe other people or even you two don't understand. Maybe why it's not working out. But perhaps this also means it is supposed to work out. I mean, 11, which is what justice is represented by numerically, is typically a number for twin flames. Not saying you're twin flames, but it's typically a number representative of love, which is sometimes why that might repetitively show up. Taking a look at the subconscious issues and the underlying reasons why this relationship might be starting up or perhaps not working, is the Six of Pentacles, which means generosity of yourself and others, prosperity, kindness, deserved reward, acquiring a benefactor, and gifts of all kinds. So basically, there's a lot of positivity in this reading, mostly on your end. The other person, the partner, seems more hesitant, but there's still obvious emotion there that they're clinging to. The Six of Pentacles shows that this person or yourself are very generous to other people. There's a lot of kindness in this relationship, and this is a material card, which shows there's some maybe sort of money thing involving this type of thing. Maybe you two work together well with money. Maybe you met at work. Maybe you work in sort of charity together, something dealing with kindness and generosity towards other. Maybe that's how you met. That's the underlying reason why this started. Or perhaps this is the underlying way you can fix this relationship, is being more generous, and see how they're kind of turning away from this and you're overflowing with love. Maybe you should focus on what you can give to your partner rather than what they can give to you. You're going to want to, even though you are overbearing and you have all this love, really think of what your partner wants. Yes, you really want this love, but what are they looking for? And it's not that they don't like you, but perhaps they need to focus on something more material or intellectual, like school or work, and that maybe it doesn't really have anything to do with you. So maybe you can find a way to contribute to that part of their life, and that could help you in your relationship because they could see you in a good light as a generous person. So, that is all I'm getting from that reading. Hope I answered a few questions there. Okay. Moving on to group 2, Smoky Quartz. Okay. So, we have you, your partner, both of you, and the underlying and subconscious. Okay, so this is a very strong reading off the bat. There's 2 major arcana cards here. So let's start with you. So it's prevalent right away, immediately when you get the Empress, that you have a lot of femininity, whether you be female or not. Whether you identify that or not, you have a lot of feminine attributes to yourself. This card is defined by heralds pregnancy in body, mind, or spirit, abundance, fertility, motherhood, nurturing, experience, gardening, female entrepreneurship, Gaia, and domination of the earth. So this card is representing a very kind mother figure, someone who's very caring of other people, someone who's concerned, someone who doesn't work just to please others, but just works to make sure everyone else is okay and everyone else feels comfortable, because that's what a mother does. It's not her job, it's just her, that's how she is obligated. She feels obligated to make sure everyone's comfortable. So perhaps in your relationship you work very hard to make the other person feel comfortable, kind of like a mother figure. Maybe you have more of a domestic approach to a relationship. You like, maybe perhaps you like feminine tasks, classic feminine tasks like cleaning, or you like baking or cooking, or just satisfying your partner in any way that makes them feel comfortable in the household. Maybe you don't even live together and that's the way you feel. That's just what makes you feel comfortable, and expressing that is how you, that's kind of your love language. That's how you communicate love to your partner. So it seems like your partner has a lot going on where they're working quite hard and they just want to learn. They're at a part in their life where they just want to absorb a lot, and kind of like an apprentice, they just want to work hard and gain a lot of knowledge to progress. So this card, your partner, is defined as mastery of a skill, pleasure in your work, handicrafts and the arts, reaping what you sow, completing a cycle in finances or business, apprenticeship, new directions in career planning possible, taking a more profitable road without hesitation. So currently your partner is very career focused, and maybe if that doesn't really mean focused on you, that just means they have this drive right now to get farther, and that might take a little bit away from your relationships because they're so focused on themselves. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe if you two are in a serious relationship, this is them trying to make both of your lives better. Maybe if you aren't really together and this is someone you're trying to be with, this is not the best thing for you because they're focusing on themselves so much and they're just trying to progress in their life. But in either case, it shows that you can both be independent, you can both have these different lives. So the card representing both of you is a very masculine card. It is the King of Swords, which is usually a very strong, intelligent male figure represented. So that doesn't exactly mean that this is the man in the relationship with both of you. It just means that there's a very masculine energy between even the both of you that's very excuse me, that is very intellectual. There's very passionate discussions. Maybe you two like to talk about very scholarly things together. Maybe you've been in a school together, you met through school, you like to talk about books, you like to talk about intellectually stimulating things. So the King of Swords is described as strong, powerful, authority figure, loyal, intelligent, often involved with the law, the courts, the military service, or dangerous occupations such as a police officer or EMT personnel, good doctors and surgeons, an excellent friend, and an unbeatable foe. So basically this person is a very strong male figure, has that very masculine kind of career set. Perhaps that's even the career set of the person you're in the relationship with, or yourself. You have a very driven career that demands a lot of time and a lot of attention, you know, like being a police officer or being a firefighter. Either way, not saying that's either sex, being either one. You could be a firefighter, you could be a doctor, something that, or even, you know, even a professor, a teacher, something that requires a lot of intellect and a lot of focus, and perhaps that's why this person is so career driven, or perhaps that's why you are so motherly. Maybe you like to take on the more role where you can help them relax because they're having such a stressful time in their work field. So, the underlying issue, or not issue, the underlying reasonings in the subconscious is another major arcana card, which is justice, or, excuse me, judgment. This card represented here. This card is represented by things coming back to haunt you, revisiting and taking responsibility for one's actions, past or present. Spiritual awakening, forgiveness, facing consequences, learning from experience, and reaping what you have sown. So basically the card Judgment is supposed to be reflective of Judgment Day in the Bible. Like, it's finally the day you're getting judged and you're coming to the terms and you're confessing and you're getting, you know, you're rising up to heaven and you're sinking down to hell based on your sins. So perhaps you've had a rocky past with this person and you've been lying, or there hasn't been that much honesty and you're kind of revisiting these things, or perhaps it's just been, there's been a lot of anticipation and it's finally like the rebirth you've been waiting for, this recognition, these things to finally work out. Both of you awakening spiritually, forgiving each other, facing this love you have for each other. Perhaps these career things have always gotten in the way, and the underlying reason is you've had these turmoils that you're finally ready to face and overcome so you can work this out together. So yeah, that's basically all I'm getting from this reading. I think There's a lot of positive things in this reading. There's just a lot that you're going to have to work over. There's obviously a big career underlying or school that is kind of interfering time-wise. Perhaps this person's very busy, but you do have a lot of passion, and there is a lot of very strong energy behind this relationship. But you're going to have to face a lot of things and overcome a lot of things if you're going to want to make it work. Okay. So that is all for the Smoky Quartz reading. Now let's move on to the 7-pointed star, the Elven star. Okay, so this is you, this is your partner, this is both of you, this is your underlying subconscious. Alright, these cards seem familiar to me in my own readings I've done. So this is you right now, this card, and this is representative of you having a lot of nostalgia. Perhaps this person that you're having this relationship with is someone from your past, your childhood, middle school, high school, college, depending on how old you are. This is someone from your past who you've kind of revisited, and you have this nostalgic view of them. They're a very creative individual. Maybe you've had a lot of creative projects together, and you see them in this beautiful light. However, you're kind of seeing them through rose-colored glasses a bit because, you know, they always say nostalgia makes the past look better than it was. You're probably seeing this person a little better than they actually are because you have these feelings from the past tied to them. So that's very prevalent here. And following right after the 6 of Cups, your partner has the 7 of Cups. The thing about the 7 of Cups is it represents all these different things in the cups, with the thoughts in the clouds, the head in the clouds. It represents this person with a high imagination, all this almost delusion, but they have so many options ahead of them. They have so much to choose, and maybe to you you might just be an option. So this means all that glitters isn't gold. Read the fine print, concentrating on illusion, whatever that may be. Illusionary magic, imagined success, self-deception, possible personality disorder, denial, wearing many faces but not allowing yourself to be the real you. The warning with this card is, to your own self be true. Look at the writing on the wall and read it. Possible poison in your choices. Beware, someone is trying to trick you. So, obviously a very descriptive card in this book, but this shows a lot of choices that you might just be an option to this person. They're also very aloof. They're very head in the clouds. They have a lot of things going on for them. They have a lot of different interests. They have their toes dipped into a lot of different pools, if you know what I mean. And they might wear a lot of masks. They might be different in front of different friend groups, wear a different face in front of different people. Perhaps one that's, you know, you might think you know the real them, but it might be a mask, or vice versa. When you're with this person's friends, they act different than when you two are alone together, and that is kind of deceptive, and it might not be the healthiest thing for you, but you see them in this beautiful way because perhaps you've had a connection in the past. So the card representing both of you is the 2 of Pentacles, which is representative of juggling and balance. So, juggling money, robbing Peter to pay Paul, balancing situations that often involve money or property or something that you value, competition, conflict of interest, a little money coming, learning to be flexible in financial and business affairs, possible monetary partnership that requires added responsibility but may not be financially lucrative. So obviously this card as a pentacle represents a lot of material things. This card said a lot of things involving property and money, and not that much stuff really regarding relationships. So this something in this relationship might regard money, or that might be a challenge in the relationship, like perhaps you guys aren't too financially stable between the two of you, and maybe all this creativity I'm seeing in the cups is kind of a factor to that. There's a lot of imagination, there's a lot of creativity, maybe not enough focus on the material stuff. So it can be hard to balance sometimes, and there can be conflict in that. There might be competition in this relationship, as this person has a lot of options here. There might be, someone else trying to get this person to be with them, and they are having a hard time deciding because they don't know if they want to be with you, and you have to really weigh that out because you don't know if you want to be with someone who sees you as an option rather than sees you as their first choice. You want to be someone's first choice. So, however, despite all the negative things I've said about this, there is a little light in the star, the card that represents the underlying and subconscious. Hopes, dreams, and wishes, the interest in astrology, understanding clarity of thought, renewal of faith, insight, harmony, optimism, success ahead, positive guidance, and promise given. So there is a lot of positive elements to this relationship. Maybe you guys have some sort of spiritual connection underlying this. Maybe even something like you might have met at church. You might know each other through some religious organization. You might have both you might both be interested in like astrology or even, these tarot cards, something like that, something that you can put your energy into. That might be something connecting you two. But you have a lot of hopes and dreams and wishes, and I think you both do because you're so head in the clouds. You're so nostalgic, you're so illusionary. You have a lot of dreams and wishes for this, but you're not putting enough action into these thoughts. You can think all the positive things you want, you can dream all you want, you can see this person in the best light you want to, but no matter how good you see them, it's not going to be the best them. It's not going to make a relationship work. You're going to have to make actions, you're going to have to make choices, and you're going to have to figure out how you're going to make this relationship progress for the better. So, you're going to have to probably focus more on yourself and more on something like school or work, because as you push your own life forward, you can see who's going to stay and who's going to leave and who's really there for you. Because once you focus on yourself, taking time to yourself, and you kind of don't have to put energy towards people that might waste your time, it'll benefit you for the better. So that's all my advice I really have for this one. Okay? So, thank you guys so much for watching my first video. I know it was a little rough, and I'm not sure how the editing will turn it out, but thank you so much. I helped you guys as much as I could, and let me know how I am with my readings, how accurate I am, and if you have any further requests for me that I can definitely fulfill in my next videos. So thank you. Blessed be.